Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we are starting the final book support group. It's the first round of the year and I'm really excited. I was really aiming to get a whole bunch of series finished in this round, but it's not going to work out that way for reasons. But before we do get into my actual TBR, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, who are serious readers. Thank you again to them for working with me. I love this light. If you haven't heard me talking about it, I don't know where you've been, but I'm absolutely obsessed with this light. I absolutely love it and I will never stop talking about it, quite frankly. But this, if you haven't heard me talking about it, is the Serious light and it is fantastic. I use it all the time, especially in winter when it's darker. In the mornings when I get up with Andy, it's fantastic for that, but in the evenings as well when it's dark, I can come in here, I can sit in my reading chair, pop this on, and I won't get any eye strain, and there's no risk of me encouraging a migraine, which I used to do if I used to sit in here with the big light on. I used to encourage a migraine. I get migraines regularly. This, however, uses daylight wavelength technology, which means that it replicates the daylight spectrum as close as possible, which kind of encourages less eye strain, and then obviously following on that, less migraines, headaches, etc, etc, and it works wonders. It's absolutely fantastic. I do have the more heavy duty one that has got a heavier base and therefore kind of stays here more than anything. On occasion I'll drag it into the bedroom, but you can get these as a floor lamp, you can get them as a table lamp. They are absolutely fantastic and I cannot recommend them enough, and I do have a discount code for you. So if you wanted to get £150 off a high definition light and also free UK shipping, you can use the code Steph in the link in the description box down below. Please do go and check them out. They're absolutely brilliant and I will never stop raving about this light. I truly love it. I want to get some more actually for around the house for sure, because I love them. Andy loves it as well. He thinks it's great. So yeah, if you wanted to get £150 off a high definition light and free UK shipping, you can use the code Steph. Everything will be in the description box down below, the link and my code. Please do go and check them out. Thank you again to Serious Readers for sponsoring this video. So without further ado, let's talk you through my TBR, because I have quite a bit going on here. And there are reasons why. So I have a goal to complete my actual January TBR. Okay, hey, I gotta talk to you. This vlog has taken a turn. And I've decided to leave the intro as it is because I truly can't be bothered to refilm it, but apparently my brain is on mood read week this week. So let me tell you about what I started. I started An Unexpected Peril by Deanna Rayborn. Chloe, one of my patrons who we unexpectedly, accidentally all the time end up buddy reading. We've been not on purpose buddy reading this series, and she was looking for a 5-star read yesterday and was like, I'm going to pick up An Unexpected Peril. I was like, fantastic, sames. So I've ended up picking this up. I got to page 114. She's finished hers now, but I got to page 114 yesterday. This is the 6th book in the Veronica Speedwell series, and I'm obsessed and I absolutely love it. We are following Veronica Speedwell, who is a lepidopterist. I think that's right. She works on butterflies and things like that, and we're also following Stoker, who ends up with Veronica as a bit of a companion at some point for a reason in the first book, and then every now and then they find themselves on these mysteries, usually with a dead body in tow. So anyway, it's a good time and I'm having a good time with it, and I've ended up picking this one up. So we're mood reading that this week. The other thing that we're mood reading, I've ended up going back to a book that I have been 200 and odd pages into since November of 2023. Any guesses what that book might be? Give you a minute. The FOMO's kicked in and kicked my ass. I think what I was actually mentally, without realising what I was doing until I said it out loud yesterday on Sprints, was actually waiting to see some early reviews of Onyx Storm before I made a decision on what to do with this. So I've been 295 pages into this book since November of 2023. I was bored, so I put it down and I haven't picked it up since, until last night. And I think I did this with Crescent City 2. So I didn't like Crescent City 2, got 250 pages in, DNF'd it, and was like waiting to see what early reviews of Crescent City 3 would be like to decide whether or not to pick it back up or just completely DNF the series. As it turns out, the reviews were shit for Crescent City 3, so I've DNF'd the series and I'm never going back to it again. I've unhauled all the books. And I think inadvertently I was doing the same thing with this. However, as it turns out, last night I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I got back in bed. I was 294 pages in. I ended up going back to page 263 to give myself a few chapters recap on what happened, and I got to page 334 last night. I read like 62 pages, got to part 2. And I'm back in we're back in business, guys. We're back in business. I'm having a good time again. So I'm excited about this, ecstatic about that turn of events. Did not see that coming. That, I think, was on my 2025 bingo board, but not January 2025. And then I've just had a delivery. So I don't know how long this has been in my box for, but I have a delivery box outside that's just like a big black plastic box for them to leave deliveries in, because I'm sick to death of them leaving deliveries on my doorstep in the pouring down rain, and 9 times out of 10 it's books. So I got a box and it's outside, and I don't know how long this has been out there. I don't know if it's just been delivered now, but it feels like it's been out there for a while. I don't know what's in it. It's from a publisher, I think. Oh, I was wondering where this was. Yeah, I was wondering where this was. Headline have reached out to me. I got a couple of books from this author a few years ago, and I'm absolutely obsessed with the series, but I haven't continued it for a couple of years. But they've actually sent me a copy of Better Than Friends by Jill Chavez. It's one of those, you know, where you can dip in and out because you're following different people, but it kind of interconnects a little bit, but it's not a big deal if you miss a few. So I've read, what have I read in this series? I can't remember what I've read in this series. Hang on, are they on the inside? Sunrise Cove. So I've read The Family You Make, The Friendship Pact, and I think The Backup Plan, but I haven't read the Sweetheart List or Better Than Friends, which I might go back and reread. But they asked if they could send me a copy of this one, and I was like, for sure. I don't know when this comes out or if it's even already out, but I'm excited about having it. Let's double check. Oh my god, it comes out today. 21st of January. Oh my god. What are the chances? So yeah, comes out today, 21st of January, and I'm looking forward to this one. It's a second chance romance by the looks of things. Can look be different the second time around. And I'm excited. Thank you very much to Headline Turn-Off for sending me that one. I truly appreciate it. And then we have this, which has just been delivered. I've just seen that Amazon man drop it in the box. This is a significantly large box. It seems unnecessary, but it is Onyx Storm. I'm so excited. This is so much smaller.
That's what she said.
Significantly smaller. The colour on these edges, horrendous. Significantly smaller. I'm so excited. This cover is so much prettier than the previous two. Don't get me wrong, I like the previous two covers, but I like that this has got different colours on it, you know what I mean? I'm trying not to spoil myself. Why does that end right at the bottom of the page? Anyway, 527 pages. Not too bad. I could definitely do that in a day. So pretty. I just got a normal copy from Amazon. I did have a special edition ordered with Waterstones, and I cancelled it because I was still 295 pages into Iron Flame and I hadn't finished it. So I cancelled it, got rid of my Waterstones editions of the first 2 books, and I'm just keeping my Fairly ones. So this will now give me an indication on whether or not I want to actually continue collecting the series or not. But yeah, it came. How exciting. So this is what I'm now mood reading. If I feel like I'm in the mood to move straight onto Onyx Storm once I've finished Iron Flame, which is my intention today, I will do that. If I'm not, I won't do it. But I think this will be my intention now for the week. An Unexpected Peril by Deanna Rayborn, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and then Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I think that's going to be my mood read for the week. Will I get to anything else? I don't know, but I will keep you posted, and that's what I'm planning on doing. So yeah, sometimes you just have to lean into it, you know. I did this in beginning of December. I was really in the mood for Beartown by Frederick Batman and I ignored my brain. And then when I went to pick it up later on in December, I couldn't do it. I wasn't in the mood. I didn't want to pick it up. I didn't want to read it, and I was really fucking mad at myself for ignoring my brain. So we're not doing that anymore. And last night I couldn't stop thinking about Iron Flame, so I decided to pick it up, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to lean into the mood reading, and I think I want to do more of this year. I feel like I love vlogs, any type of vlog, whether it's a project, whether it is a mood reading vlog, or whether it is a dedicated vlog to a readathon, whatever kind of vlog it is, I love them. But I do find that sometimes I enjoy mood reading vlogs a little bit more. Even though they can be chaotic on occasion, I know mine can, I do enjoy them a little bit more because the reader is picking up stuff that they actually actively want to read in that moment. And I just feel like you can feel it coming off them. They're having a fantastic time with what they're doing. And I kind of love that. So I do want to lean into that a little bit more in 2025, even if I'm in the middle of a project. I will do my best to like maybe just start another vlog in the background, a mood reading vlog in the background, and then mood read on top of what it is that I'm doing if it's a specific project, like Keep It or Eat It, for example. But yeah, we're just leaning into the mood reading this week. It still counts as final book support group because continuation station. But yeah, I'm gonna go into this and I will check back in with you when I have an update for you.
Another rainy afternoon, I don't know what I'm to do. I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house. I'm just wasted on the couch, 'cause I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon.
Hello, it's currently 11:30 on Wednesday morning. I've actually taken today off work. I phoned my dad yesterday, essentially saying that I'm going to book it off as a holiday. I have been feeling like I am running 100 miles an hour, and I've been feeling that way definitely since Christmas, but probably since about the end of November. And I feel like I haven't had a day to just kind of sit with myself, do something for myself, and just take some time to kind of recharge, essentially. And I was really feeling it yesterday. I was really starting to feel the burnout, and I thought, if I don't do something about this and sort myself out, I'm going to end up really badly burning out, and it's going to probably be right at crunch time when I really need to get some work done. And I haven't got time to burn out, so I made the decision to book today off work and actually just take the day for myself to do whatever I want with, whether that be sitting here rotting, doom scrolling, doing nothing and catching up with YouTube, maybe watching some TV, or whether that be actually reading, or whether that be doing a bunch of stuff that I've kind of let go to the wayside because I've been so busy with work and with hosting people and Christmas and my birthday and everything that was going on. So things like housework, for example, the dining room table is an absolute pigsty, you know, things, just little things like that. I'm constantly on catch up with the washing and stuff like that. So I've actually got up this morning and it's been a kind of productive morning already. I had 3 parcels on the dining table for the last 3 weeks that needed to be returned to Amazon so I could get refunds on them. So I've taken those to the shop. I picked up a few bits while I was at the shop for tea. And then I've come home, sent a card to my nana. It's her birthday this weekend. I have done one other thing as well that I don't really want to mention. I'm not gatekeeping, but it's just a personal thing. And I've also made a bingo board for the F1 readathon that will be coming up next weekend for my patrons, because I completely forgot that that was a thing and Amanda reminded me. Thanks, Amanda. So I've done that. I've sort of caught up with a few of my graphics that I do throughout the year for you know, the books that I've read, TBRs, things like that. I've caught up with a few of those and just kind of caught up on a couple of admin things. I do want to get a bit of tidying done around the house today, but I also really want to finish Iron Flame. I have an hour and 40 minutes left. I'm here. I'm in the home stretch. I think I actually might have less than 100 pages to go. I have, yeah, I've got 95 pages to go of this. So I'm aiming to finish this today. That is my plan. I am still really enjoying it. There's no way that this can get 5 stars because of the hiatus that I took with it. I did DNF this, and it was a soft DNF in the moment, and then as time went on I was like, I don't know if this is like a full-blown DNF, so much so that I culled my collection like it to less than half. I had 4 or 5 copies of Fourth Wing, and I had 3 or 4 copies of Iron Flame. I now only have 2 copies of each. So, you know, I was like deadly serious about this situation, and I will be probably moving on. Well, I will definitely move on to Onyx Storm after I finish this, but if I do some housework and potter about, I will go back to An Unexpected Peril by Deanna Rayborn, which is upstairs, because I can potter around while listening to that, whereas this I want to follow along, and same with Onyx Storm, because there's so much going on, and I have been out of relatively heavy fantasy for such a long time. Now I tend to pick up mostly romantasy, where the world building is in there, but it's not so rich, do you know what I mean? And the politics isn't as rich either. I haven't been in the really rich political world building type fantasy for a while, and I do think that this kind of does stretch to that a little bit. There is a lot of politics going on in here. There is like a civil war kind of going on, and I do think that I need to concentrate a little bit harder with something like this than I do with some of the other romantasy books I pick up, for example. So if I do potter around the house, I will pop on An Unexpected Peril, because that is something that I can concentrate on while pottering, whereas this is not. And if I decide not to do that, which is absolutely fine, I probably should, but we're not doing a day of beating myself up if I don't get something done. We're doing a day of me resting and relaxing and recharging and doing things that make me happy. So I will do that, and this right now is what I want to be doing, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get back to this, I'm going to get it finished, and we'll see how this goes. So let's do that. Hellos. I finished Iron Flame. So long as the clips are okay, you will have just seen clips of me sobbing for the last like 10 pages of this book. I cannot believe it took me 14 months to finish this book. I picked it up when it got released in November 2023. I started it then and got to, you can literally see with my tabs, like there is a whole section right down the middle that I missed out where I got sick of tabbing because I was starting to get bored, and then eventually put the phone down, put the book down. Like I stopped tabbing at page 125. I got to page 295, so I did continue for a while, and then put the book down. This was good, intense. That last like, especially 100 pages, super intense. I don't know where we go from here, and I am shooketh. And honestly, I'm kind of grateful to myself for essentially putting it down and then coming back to it once I've got Onyx Storm. Albeit, I think she's going to end up doing the same thing to us with the cliffhanger in Onyx Storm, because she did the same to us in Fourth Wing. Like, the cliffhanger in Fourth Wing was horrendous. Not bad, but like mentally horrendous. This, I bet, was the same for all of y'all that finished this when it came out. So I'm glad that I now have Onyx Storm that I can dive straight into, which I am going to do now. I need to get some lunch and I need to pick some more tabs. I don't want to use colourful tabs for Onyx Storm. I want to try and get some tabs that kind of match the cover a little bit. I finished it. I reckon this is going to get a 4.5 star rating. It probably would have got a 5 had I finished it. Actually, maybe it wouldn't have, because I was still bored during that middle section, but the ending definitely redeemed itself a little bit. So 4.5 stars, it doesn't deserve the 5. I am still on the hunt for a 5-star read. We are on, what date are we on? The 22nd of January, and I've still not had a 5-star read. This is my 13th book of the year. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I've lost my touch. It's my 13th book of the year, but I've also had 5 or 6 DNFs as well. So I don't know, maybe I've lost my touch. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna get some lunch and then dive straight into Onyx Storm. I am shitting my pants, I'm not gonna lie. This is so pretty. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, hello, it is Friday. It's currently about 1:30ish, and my plans all went to shit today. I was supposed to be going out meeting my other best friend from Ipswich that isn't Jade, Laura, my childhood friend, and we were supposed to be meeting at the Trafford Centre and hanging out for a few hours, having a catch up, and then she was going to carry on going down to the Midlands to meet some Middlesbrough, to see some other friends before coming back up to the Lake District, which is where she's staying at the moment. So we were supposed to be doing that this morning. Storm Owen, is that what we're calling, is that what it's called? I don't friggin' know what the storm's called, that's causing a red alert across parts of Scotland and the majority of Ireland, which is chaotic, and I really hope everybody is safe, is causing chaos throughout a good portion of England as well. So we made the decision today not to have our catch up and our girly date, which is really sad because I don't get to see her too much, especially with her being down in Ipswich and being so busy with work and her partner's work and stuff like that, and she's constantly travelling around the country with him. So we're both devastated about the situation, but with her being up in the lakes at the moment and staying up there, she can't run the risk of coming down and then not being able to get back, because obviously like the Lake District, it's not the arse end of nowhere, but some of it is. So she needs to be a bit careful. So we ended up cancelling our plans this morning, which was a little bit devastating. So me and Andy have hung out this morning. We've watched Captain America Winter Soldier, which he's apparently never seen before, which I think is very bizarre. But anyway, apparently he's never seen it before, so we watched that. And he's now gone out for the afternoon. He's made arrangements with his old flatmate to go out for some drinks this afternoon. I don't know if he's going to be out all night or not. He's going to let me know, but if he is going to be out all night, he's just going to stay at his mum's because he's gone to West Orton. So on his head be it. But yeah, I have decided to do some patron sprints today. So they'll be starting at 3 o'clock because I thought he wasn't going to leave till like 2:30ish, and it might give me a half hour to just sort myself out, but he's left early. So yeah, I thought that I would do some patron sprints. I did just want to update you on a little bit of Bookish Mail that I got the other day. I ended up being sent these 3 from Penguin, so thank you to them for sending me these. We do have God of Ruin, we've got God of Wrath, and we've got God of Pain, all by Rena Kent, which is books 2, 3 and 4, I think, in the series. You may remember, but I have DNF'd God of War. Is that the first one? Oh, I just bent the page, whoopsie. God of Malice, sorry, God of Malice. Is that God of Malice the first one? I DNF'd the first one, God of Malice. I read it when it was still indie published. I think the first 2 chapters have changed ever so slightly, but not too much, because obviously it's kind of the point of the whole story. And I DNF'd it. It made me feel really uncomfortable. The male main character is like purely, there's no morally grey about him. He is purely morally black, and we do get that warning at the beginning of the book. So respect to Rena for giving us that warning. However, it was too much for me and I just didn't like it. I was not here for what happened in the first 2 chapters of the book, and I've been very open with Penguin when they've emailed me about it. So they asked if I wanted a copy of God of Malice and I said no. Then they did ask if I wanted a copy of the second one, and I said, listen, I'd be willing to give Rena another go, and I wasn't happy, like it made me uncomfortable the first 2 chapters of the first book, but I have heard some people saying that they've skipped the first book and carried on with the series, or they've only read book 5, I think it is, which is the male one, the queer book. So I don't know, I'm interested to see how I feel about these. Thank you again to Penguin for sending them to me. I wasn't 100% certain if my relationship with Rena was done with that one, like one and done with that book, but I would give other authors another chance if obviously the author wasn't a fucking asshole themselves. So I don't see why I shouldn't with Rena, but we'll see what happens with this. So yeah, I do have these 3. Thank you to them for sending me them through. The covers are stunning. I am obsessed with them. And I do want to enjoy the series because I know it's very well loved, but that first book, I just cannot with it. I can't. So we'll try these, see what happens. Not today, but I just wanted to tell you that they'd come in. So next, reading update. I did get to page 42. I think it's 42 in Onyx Storm. It's downstairs. And I haven't read any more. I didn't read anything yesterday. I was at work yesterday and it was a long day. I ended up staying at Matt and Tara's till about 7:30. Because Andy wanted to see the kids. He's been obviously so unwell last week that he's not seen the kids in nearly 2 weeks. So he wanted to see the kids. So I waited till he finished work, and then he ended up being late finishing work. So he didn't get to Matt's till like 6:45. So we stuck around till about 7:30 seeing the kids and helping them put them to bed and stuff like that, which I haven't done in a long time. And then we came home, had some food. Andy made us chicken curry, and then I went to bed. I was going to read for a bit. Andy fell asleep on the couch. I was going to read for a bit. I ended up doom scrolling because I couldn't decide what I wanted to pick up. And then I went to sleep and he never came to bed. He slept downstairs, but he said he was up and down all night, so he didn't want to interrupt me. So yeah, that's what happened last night. So I haven't read anything since Wednesday, in which I finished Iron Flame and started Onyx Storm. Got 42 pages in and then stopped. Andy came home from work. So I am still also 114 pages into An Unexpected Peril. And the reason why I ended up picking this one up is because I was searching for a 5-star read. But since putting this down and going back to Iron Flame, I've not really thought about it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I'm so desperate for a 5-star read, and I'm just not convinced that this one or potentially Onyx Storm's going to give me that this week. And I also don't think that I'm actually going to manage to finish Onyx Storm this week. There is still, like, that book is long. There is still like 9.5 hours of the audiobook for me to go, and that's on 2.4 times speed. So I don't know what to do here. I'm a little bit stuck. I want to pick up something that I'm guaranteed a 5-star with, and I feel like Stay With Me by Brooke Montgomery is going to do that for me, because so far she has not let me down. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4 books that I've read from her, she hasn't let me down yet. So I don't see why she would start now with book 2, but I'm tempted to pick this up. It will be a continuation station. It will get me up to date, and I have been approved for the arc of book 5, which hasn't come in yet, but it will come in the first, I think, week of Feb. So I kind of want to get to this week instead of next week, just in case Sin For Me comes in next week, or so that I'm not reading them back to back, because obviously there is a time difference between this and what will happen in Sin With Me. I'm fairly certain, because this is book 2 and that is book 5. So I don't know what to do here. Every time I move I get a whiff of Andy's aftershave, because he's just left and he's just given me a hug. So I don't know, I'm kind of tempted to pick this up, but then I'm like, do I want to start another book in this vlog? Because so far all I've finished is Iron Flame, and I've started An Unexpected Peril, and I've also started Onyx Storm. I could do with finishing something, so do I prioritise finishing this, but while my mind is on this? I don't know what to do here. I'm a little bit stuck, and I don't really want to do a cop-out and kind of pick up, like, it's not really a cop-out, but in my mind it kind of is. Like, I'm searching for that 5-star read, but I feel like to go for a manga that would guarantee me a 5-star read, for example A Business Proposal Volume 7, I think that is a little bit of a cop-out, because it's too easy to do that. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of want my first 5-star of the year to be a novel. So I don't know, I think I might end up picking this up. I'm in the mood for like a romance, a cowboy romance, I think. I may even dip in and out of Onyx Storm as well while I'm there. I was saying to my friend Tilly the other day, actually, because she was asking how it was going with Onyx Storm, and I was saying to her, I found Iron Flame, I know I stopped halfway through and then I picked it back up again 14 months later and I finally finished it, but even that, I found like it was dragging a lot for me, and it wasn't the book necessarily, I don't think. It's this fantasy slump that I'm in. So the political side of fantasy is the bit I think I'm struggling with the most. And I forgot how heavily political these books really are. Like, a lot of romantasy books are, you know, focus more on the romance than they do the fantasy side of things. Whereas I think actually the Fourth Wing series, the Empyrean series, is a perfect example of the difference between a fantasy romance and a romantasy book. And I think my thought process in the difference between these two is that in a romantasy, the romance drives the plot with the fantasy in the background, a fantastical element in the background. In a fantasy romance, the fantasy drives the plot. And in this instance, the Empyrean series, there is a lot of politics going on in the background. Well, not even in the background, in the forefront, to be perfectly honest. And the romance is almost secondary. The further we get into the series, the more the romance comes forward in that series, but it's almost secondary to the actual fantastical elements and the plot and the politics and all of that. And I think that's why I find it so slow for me personally, because I'm struggling on the political side of things, which is why I haven't been picking up epic and, you know, epic fantasies, because I am struggling with that political side of things. And I was saying to her, like, that's the bit I'm struggling with the most with it, and unfortunately it is very heavy in the series. But what I don't want to do now is get like 42 pages into Onyx Storm, put that book down for another 14 months. I don't want that. I do want to, while it's hyped, because I am so heavily influenced. So if everyone's giving it 5 stars, I'll be terrified to continue on with it, because I'll feel the pressure of wanting to like needing to like it, which is what happened with Iron Flame, and which is why I ended up putting it down. If everyone's giving it lower ratings, I will stop reading it on that basis. So I kind of need to get through it before everybody's ratings come in, which I know they will do in the next week or so. So part of me is like, just carry on with it, trundle along with it. Once you get past the 50% mark, you will feel better. I always find the first 50% of a book so much harder than the second 50%, but I don't know. I think I'm going to go for this anyway. That's a long-winded route of me saying I'm going to go for this. I'll probably dip in and out of Onyx Storm, I think, but I'm going to try and get through this today. Stay with me. It is a best friends brothers standalone from small town romance author Brooke Montgomery, obviously about a girl who falls pregnant by the wrong man and the cowboy who takes her in. So in this one, the family member is one of the brothers, and it is Trip, who I've met several times, and then we are following Magnolia, who is she Noah's best friend? I think she's one of Noah's best friends. Not the chaotic one, because I'm fairly certain her story is book 5. But is she... oh, maybe? Oh no, maybe she is the chaotic one. Struggles. This is the problem with reading these books out of order. It generally doesn't matter, but when you want to keep your characters in order and you want to remember what's going on, I've struggled to keep these romances in order because I've been reading them completely out of order. So when I read book 3 and picked up book 3 for the first time, which was the first book I picked up in this series, obviously Noah was already with her partner, and Trip and Magnolia were already together in that book. So then I picked up book 4, and then I went back to book 1, and then I went back again to book 0.5, in which Noah was still... we were at the end of book 0.5, we get the beginning of book 1, and I'd already read it. You know? So, and then in book 1, obviously I will have seen the beginning of this relationship happen, but now I can't remember. So, you know, that's the problem sometimes with reading these out of order. You don't need to read them in order to enjoy them, but that's the problem with reading them out of order. I would highly recommend reading them in order if you're going to pick this series up. I also have a little novella from Brooke Montgomery as well called Ride With Me, and I really want to pick that up. It's about 75 pages, and I really want to pick that up, but it's not down on Goodreads. Which is really fucking annoying. So I can put it towards my reading goal, it'll go on core pile, and I can put it towards my books read, but at the end of the year my Goodreads will not match up with my core pile, which is so fucking annoying. So I don't know what to do about that. I do want to pick it up though, so that when I've read Sin With Me, I will have completely completed this series, including the short stories. There is another one, another novella as well, but it's a Christmas one, so I feel like I've missed the boat on that one a little bit, but maybe I'll get it at some point. So yeah, I think I'm going to pick this one up. Let's do that, shall we? Morning team. It is 10:44 on Sunday. I haven't updated you since Friday afternoon. Yesterday we went to a wedding venue to go and have a sit and a chat with them and a good wander around the venue, and then we nipped to Andy's mum's, and then when we got back we realised we had no internet. Actually, that's not true. We watched the Liverpool and Ipswich game, and then we nipped out to the supermarket, and when we come back we realised we had no internet around 6 o'clock. So we ended up ordering some tea, which is really weird because we'd just been to the supermarket and stocked up on food, and isn't that the way? And then we put Captain America Civil War on because I have it on DVD. I have like a huge DVD collection. So we were like, okay, so the app says that it'll be back on by 3 AM. Fine. So then Andy falls asleep on the couch about 8 o'clock, and about 8:45 I went up to bed. I was like, I can't be bothered, I'm just gonna go up to bed. I watched the end of the movie and then went to bed. So this morning Andy gets up at 6 AM, he goes downstairs, and then I got up about 9 o'clock. The internet's still not back on, and I was like, fucking brilliant. What am I going to do now? Because I was meant to do sprints today for Final Book Support Group. My aim was to do some after I've been to the wedding fair this afternoon, which I'm going to with my mum and my sister-in-law, but no internet. And when you phone them, they already have an answer for you, but it's not an answer we're looking for. We want to know when it will be back up. They can't tell us that. So no idea how long this is going to go on for, but I hope it's not too much longer, because my entire work life revolves around the internet. So I can edit this video, but I can't upload it. I mean, if it goes on a few days, it's not a big deal. I can edit it, and then I can upload it when I get to my brother's in a couple of days' time for work. But it's just frustrating, you know? There's like a whole bunch of stuff now that I cannot do, and I didn't realise just how much of our life relies on the internet. So we can't watch TV, we've no TV. So we can only watch movies that we've got on DVD. So we can't watch any TV, which is fantastic, just exactly what we wanted. So yeah, just absolutely fabulous. Wonderful. Anyway, Friday I told you I was going to pick up Stay With Me by Brooke Montgomery, and in the hopes that this would be my first 5-star of the year, and it was down as the prompt for 5-star prediction. I finished it on Friday. I read it all in one day. It was very fast paced. Actually, that's a lie. It was not very fast paced. It was fast paced in the sense that I got through it in a day. It was quick to get through, but the plot itself was not fast paced. So we have a brother's best friend. We also have, she got pregnant by somebody else, but he's willing to stick around and raise the baby as his own trope. So I was fully thinking that this book would be done in a sense that, you know, we have an introduction to them. It's not brother's best friend, it's best friend's brother, sorry. She's best friends with Noah, Tripp's sister. So, same thing, but different. So I was thinking that this would be a case of, you know, we get an introduction into them. We've already had a bit of an introduction to them in Noah's story, and we get some more of that, a little bit more of the backstory, how long Magnolia's had a crush, how long Tripp's had a crush, and all of that good stuff. And then very quickly she would fall pregnant by somebody else, and then it would be the build-up of their relationship and, you know, them kind of figuring this out. I thought that's what this would be. And about the 50% mark, I was like, have I read this synopsis wrong? Is she gonna get pregnant? I am confused because it hadn't happened. About the 50% mark, it still hadn't happened. And it only happened around about the 70-ish% mark. And I was like, well, what the fuck's gonna happen in the next 30%? Because is this now gonna mean that the beginning of this book, the first 70% of this book is then building up this relationship, having quite a bit of sex, building up the relationship, for her to then fall pregnant, and then it's them trying to figure this shit out, but very quickly. And lo and behold, that's what happened. And unfortunately, it just didn't work for me. I felt like the last 30% was way too rushed. That last 30% could have been the last 70%. Do you get what I mean? Like, we could have done the building up and building the relationship to begin with in the first 30%, and then got into the drama of the baby, etc., and then had them trying to work through this shit. There were a few conveniences with this as well, a little bit, with what happens with, you know, the whole guy that is the baby's dad, by genetics, by, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, that is biologically, I was close with biologically the baby's dad. Quite a few conveniences happen with that as well. I don't know, I just found myself, it's not that I didn't enjoy this. I laughed in some places and I almost cried in some places. I didn't actually cry, but I almost did. I had a good time with the two characters. I actually love Tripp and Magnolia. Magnolia is very naive and a little bit dense, but I actually love them. I do think that I believe 100% that they are endgame, and I did see quite a bit of me and Andy in this because they've been friends for so long, and him coming to the realization that, oh my god, she actually does like me, and I think we can make this work, and if we can't, at least I've tried. No one can say I didn't try, etc, etc. It reminded me a lot of the situation that me and Andy were in, like 2.5-3 years ago actually now. So it reminded me a lot of that. I did see a lot of me and Andy in Magnolia and Tripp, and I love them. I really do love them. I just kind of wished better for their story. I don't know what happened with this, and I'm really sad about it because I went into it with such high expectations because everything else in this series has been 5 stars from me, including the novella, the 0.5 novella. So everything's been 5 stars, and I'm just a little bit gutted because I had such high hopes. I've ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I'm just really sad. I had such high hopes. I was like, Brooke will not let me down here. This is guaranteed to be a 5 star. So far I've read, you know, 4 of her books and they've been 5 star reads. I have a 5th one and I've got a 6th one on its way to me because I am getting an Arc of Sin with me, the last one in this series. So it's like, there's no way she's gonna let me down. God damn. I didn't hate it, obviously. 3.5 star rating is very good. But on the basis I went into this thinking that it was going to be a 5 star, I'm a little bit sad. I am. So this is only my 2nd book for this reading vlog complete. I have clearly not had a good week with reading this week. I'm still 114 pages into An Unexpected Peril, and I don't think I'm going to get that finished today. Albeit the internet is down, so I don't know what else I'm going to do with my day once we get back from the wedding fair. And I got 42 pages into Onyx Storm, and I'm obviously not going to get that finished today. So yeah, I don't know. I may have only completed 2 books of this vlog. I'm not going to wrap it up right now because I may get a little bit more reading in later, but whether or not I finish something else, I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's where I'm up to. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and give you the sad update on that. I truly was anticipating more from it. It just, the pacing was completely off for me. It just wasn't paced correctly at all. I think the story could have been fantastic, but the pacing was so off. So yeah, a little bit sad about that. But yeah, I'm gonna go because my brother and my sister-in-law will be here soon with the kids, and then my mum and my dad, potentially my dad, will be here soon as well. The guys are gonna hang out with Andy, and me and my mum and my sister-in-law are gonna go to the wedding fair. So I'm gonna go because I do need to potter about a little bit and just tidy up before the kids turn up. But I will check back in with you later on this afternoon / tomorrow morning. Good morning. It is Monday and I'm here to wrap this vlog up. I have edited it up until this point. This was a whole mess. I apologise. I don't know what the hell happened here this week. I just don't know. I went into a mood reading moment and then the mood to read must have just left me. I don't know what happened. It was really bizarre. I don't know if finishing Iron Flame put me in a little bit of a slump or a book hangover maybe because it had taken so long. I'm just not sure what happened. And then I kind of ran out of time towards the end of the week to read much because I had other stuff going on. So, especially over the weekend, yesterday me and Andy did decide when I got back from the wedding fair with my mum and my sister-in-law, we hung out with them for a little bit till they left and the internet still wasn't working. So we decided to go out, get some lunch and have a couple of drinks for the afternoon. By the time we came back, the internet was back on, thank the Lord. So we did that, which was nice because I feel like we haven't, because he's been so unwell recently, I feel like we haven't had a chance to just kind of hang out, the two of us. And I know we spend a lot of time at home, but like to literally just hang out without the TV on, without, you know, I mean, we did have our phones and on occasion we will pick them up, but for the most part, just spending time with each other, having conversations, catching up, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes he's just too tired for life when he gets home from work. So he eats his tea and then goes straight to sleep. It is what it is. But then it's nice for us to be able to go out and do stuff like that and just, you know, have a conversation and catch up with what's going on with our work and things like that. So anyway, the wedding fair yesterday was really good. It was very busy, incredibly busy. The room we went in was quite cramped as well. I thought it would be a much larger space with a lot more vendors. It's had more vendors in it that I've seen anywhere else, but it was quite cramped and quite busy, a little bit stressful. But we got 2 slices of cake, so I'm not mad about it. There was also this, if you've been to Blackpool you will know what I'm on about, but essentially there's like this board at the top and then there is it's the camel machine up at Blackpool, but at the horse racing place, it was horses, and you roll the balls, and every time it goes through a hole, instead of coming straight back to you, your horse moves and you can win points, and it's to see who gets there fastest. So me and my mum had a race and I won, and I did it in 19 seconds, and the next fastest time was like 26 seconds. So I was buzzing with that. Overall, had a really good time. Did manage to find some vendors that are of interest, which is good news, always a win. And also, we've not looked at like flowers or cake vendors yet, because I get really overwhelmed if I look at too much too soon. So we wanted to get obviously like the venue in place and the photographer picked kind of first. We haven't booked those yet, but we are incredibly close. I reckon by the end of this week, upcoming, like the week that we're in now, I reckon by the end of this week we could have those in place. So it's nice to kind of start looking at the other things as well that we do need to look at. So I finally got some prices for flowers and cake, which is nice. It's always good to have a start point, so that when I start to like reach out to other companies, I've got something to base it off, which is always nice. So this week overall has been incredibly messy. I do apologise. I started off with the vlog telling you about what my TBR was going to be, and then I very quickly cut all of that out because I was like, well, that's no longer my TBR. I've decided to mood read this week. So it started off really messy, and I do apologise for that, but the only thing I told you in that first clip that was not a lie was the actual sponsorship portion. Like, that lie is fantastic. That's the only thing I told you in that first clip that was not a lie. But I did manage to finish 2 books, one of which I've been reading for 14 months. I do wonder whether or not this has put me in a little bit of a slump, so which is concerning, and I need to try and very quickly get myself back out of that. So I have finished this though, and I did give it 4.5 stars, which I have mentioned and talked about at length, to be honest. And then same with Stay With Me by Brooke Montgomery. I've just, the clip before this one, I spoke to you in length about this book. 3.5 stars. I am gutted that it wasn't the 5-star read I was hoping for, so I am still on the hunt for that, but not actively. I've got to stop because it's starting to really get me down. I think it's also holding me back from reading. So, and I'm putting too much high expectations on books, and I've got to stop doing it. I did get to 114 pages into An Unexpected Peril. This is going to go back on my shelf. I will come back to it at a later date, hopefully. I'm not enjoying it. I'm just not in the mood. I don't know what happened. And then Onyx Storm, I got 42 pages into this one. I've actually had to think about this. I saw an interview on TikTok with Rebecca Yarros last night, and she did say, somebody asked in the interview when the 4th Empyrean book is coming out, and she said, I've no idea. And the whole like crowd was gasping, and she was like, basically what I do is I don't set deadlines on my books, so I tend to write an Empyrean book, and then I write a contemporary, and then I write an Empyrean book, and then I write a contemporary. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to write another contemporary. I've read one of her contemporaries before, very good, and then I want to spend the summer with my kids. Entirely fair. This woman is an author, she is a mother, she is spending a lot of time reading, she's got a lot of pressure on her, and you know, 100% do that. So my thought process is that it's going to be another I don't know, 14 months, 18 months, maybe 2 years before we get the 4th book, and I am fully aware of not how this ends, but the way this ends is going to fuck me up. So I don't want that. I haven't got it in me to be able to sit around for the next 14 months to 2 years waiting for the next book in this series. So I think for now I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put it back on my shelves. I may take the bookmark out, I might not. You never know. In a week's time or 2 weeks time or a month's time, I might want to finish it. But for now, I don't expect me to be finishing this anytime soon. Please don't be waiting for my review on this, because my intention now is to wait until there's at least a release date for the next one, which by the sounds of things we're not going to get anytime soon. Just quick FYI, if you were debating what to do with that, thinking, oh, she might release the next one in the next year, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to get a contemporary out of her in the next year, and then the next one of this maybe another year after that. I don't know. I could be entirely wrong, but it's just from an interview that I've seen from her. So her intention is to do contemporary and then go back to Empyrean 4. So it's not, you know, by the sounds of things, it's not written, you know, we're going to be waiting a while for it to come out. And I just don't know if I can have that on my conscience. So for now, I am continuing on with the series, but this will be going back on my shelves for the time being until a later date. Don't be expecting me to come back to this in my next vlog and have my review for you. It's not happening. Sorry. I know that's probably annoying. It is frustrating for me as well, but I am the sort of person that prefers to wait until all the books have come out and then I can binge the series. It's what I've ended up doing with the Bone season. I got 3 books into that series and was like, I can't do this anymore because she's taking so long over finishing the series. So I stopped, and I'm glad I did, because what she's done is ended up rewriting the first 4 books. So the next one is on its way out. It's coming out very, very soon. I'm actually going to a Samantha Shannon event in February, which I'm excited about, for the 5th book. Yes, for the 5th book, and I'm really excited about it, but I am still waiting to go back to that series and start again until there's at least a release date for the last book, so that I can build my way up to it. So that's what I might end up doing that for the rest of this series. I might end up just waiting for the next book to come out before I read this one. I don't know, we'll see, but I just wanted to let you know, give you a heads up. Please don't be expecting me to finish this book anytime soon, because it's not going to happen. Certainly not for the foreseeable anyway. Maybe I'll just get it in me that I want to pick it up immediately, but I for some reason thought it was a good idea to go straight into it after Iron Flame, and I don't think that was a good idea, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I did write down what happened at the end of Iron Flame in my journal, my reading journal, so I don't need to reread Iron Flame when I come back to picking Onyx Storm back up. But anyway, really long wrap up. I meant to do this very quickly, my apologies. So yeah, this week did not go as I planned. Both of these are continuation stations. Actually, this is the final book that I have so far in the series, but I will be getting book 5 very soon, an arc of it. So continuation stations, no final books, and only 2 read. It is what it is. Some weeks you have a good week, and you know, some weeks I smash through 7 books, some weeks I smash through only 1 or 2. It is what it is, you know, and that's okay, and I need to stop beating myself up about it. The problem is, this is my job, so I feel like if I don't finish 3 or more books, the vlog is almost a waste. And it's not, it isn't, because you've seen a little bit of my life. I've gotten through a book that I've been meaning to get through for a really long time, and I've finally achieved that, so yay for me. You know, that is a huge goal to have achieved, and I am really proud of myself for it. And of course it's taken a mental load, because I've been trying to get through that book for the last 14 months. So, and it's been a busy week. You've seen, like, I've been doing a lot of wedding stuff this week and a lot of work, and I've been taking some you know, mental health day. I'm clearly struggling a little bit at the moment, but that's okay. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Chat to me in the comments down below. Again, thank you to the sponsor of this video, who are Serious Readers. If you're interested in one of the very beautiful Serious Lights, please do check them out in the description box down below. Again, my code Steph will get you £150 off and free UK shipping if you were wanting to check them out. Please do go and check them out, because they are fantastic and I love them. And as I say, out of that whole intro, it was 10 minutes long. I ended up cutting it right down. That was the only true thing I said. The rest of it, the TBR was a lie. But thank you very much to Serious Readers for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for watching and for always supporting. I truly appreciate you, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.